Hello guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 guide. I done one like literally not even 5 minutes ago, but today I want to upload a lot of videos if I can, so that way I can try to get back on a regular uploading schedule. So this one is going to be pretty much everything you need to know about fairies and how to transform. Since the pack is still relatively new, they came with the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack, and they still are relatively new, and I quite enjoy fairies, to be honest. I haven't played with them much, and I plan on playing with them more. But today I'm going to show you how to turn your sim into a fairy. I already done this in a previous video, but I didn't really go over much. Really, I just did a quick, simple guide, and I didn't really do much. The same with the Eco Footprint guide that I did in my last video. Go check it out, please. Anyway, firstly, to turn your sim into a fairy, they have to be human. So if they have a simplistic plumb bob like this, that means they're human. Or a plant sim, but in this case, it's quite simple to know that she's a human. But even if they are a plant sim, they can still turn into an occult. I bet you guys didn't know that. I actually don't know that for a guarantee for sure. I don't think you actually can. I think it's just a mod or maybe even a glitch, but I'm not sure. But your sim has to be a human in order to become a fairy. So if they are a werewolf, vampire, spellcaster, mermaid, or an alien like that, they will not be able to become a fairy. The same thing can be said for servos, which are robots. They are literally robots, so they literally cannot become any occult because they are literal robots. So if you have Discovery University, servos can also not become a fairy. Uh, So there are four main methods for becoming a fairy. One, you can start from one being in cast, either by the via the occult picker from the Life and Death expansion pack update patch that came back in December of last year, or you can create a new sim occult by using the fairy option as well. Uh, and then you just start with the fairy sim. Uh, or the main method, which a lot of people are going to use, is how to just turn your sim into a fairy the natural way, and that is to go through the process that I did in my last video, and that's the method I'll be doing in this video again. So what you're going to want to do is the first step involves two kind of split paths. You can either it starts differently. You can either research how to become a fairy like this. Um, um, and this is a quicker method. You can literally skip most of the process by doing this, um, and it's pretty quick and pretty crazy. So once you have researched it, you can actually just buy one from a computer. You can just buy a plant seedling, or not a plant seedling, a fairy seedling. My bad. Which uh, that is the main source of having enough. But to save some simoleons, I'm just going to go through the natural way. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Innisgrain, which is the expansion pack world that came with Enchanted by Nature. It's right here. Which, another thing too I want to take into consideration real quick is I do not understand why people hate this world. I do not understand. It's freaking gorgeous. I don't know what people criticize in the screen. I don't understand. It's literally maybe even top 5 worlds for me. It doesn't beat Windenburg, obviously, from Get Together, but still, it's still pretty damn good. It's still a beautiful world to where you can visit, you can live there. It's gorgeous. Again, why do people hate this freaking world is beyond me. But anyway, let's get back to it. Whoa. Okay, I did not expect that. Anyway. uh, anyway. Wow. Is it lag night? Okay, I don't know if this is my controller or if it's the game being glitchy, but sometimes it becomes irresponsive. Oh, I can't speak at all. Why? Anyway, uh, now I did this in my last video. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to introduce yourself to any either a fabulist like the mystical fairy, like I showed in my last video, or you can introduce yourself to any fairy sim. Uh, so any fairy sim, which is very noticeable by their wings, obviously, and you can give them a friendly introduction, or if you have Snowy Escape, I do recommend giving them a respectful introduction, as it does give you a bit more of a relationship boost. It's not by much, but it's still a decent way to get a boost, which will help. It's not needed, but it can help you, especially if you want to become friends with that specific sim. So after you have researched at your house using the bookshelf, you can bypass the ask how to become fairy and just ask for a fairy seedling immediately. Um, Now, most of the time, what I have researched is that the fairy sim will guarantee to have a fairy seedling. So if you ask them, they will pretty much guarantee give you one. If you've already asked for one, then they will be out. So because they only have one. So this next step is very important, and is I want you I want you to learn this very important step because it's very crucial that you understand this. You can plant the fairy seedling uh, on any soil or barren ground like this grassy area. You cannot place it on any hard rock pavement like this because the option won't even be there, as you can see. Uh, Now, I don't think you can place it anywhere other than in the screen, but although I'm not too sure, I'm not 100% going to guarantee it. But once you plant the fairy seedling, you will summon Mother Nature. Uh, Upon summoning her, uh, most of the time, she will autonomously give you her charm, which is needed to become a fairy. And very seldomly will she uh, not give you her charm, and therefore you would have to ask her for one, which she's very nice, so she will give it to you immediately. As you can see, she's not giving it to me immediately, so let's go ahead and ask for it. So now, once you've done that, she will give you a little message saying that she's giving you her charm, and it will give you the into the fold moodlet, which lasts 24 hours, which kind of similarly to mermaids, and to the fact that they do get like a very similar moodlet, but it's energized instead of focused. Um, but that's a separate video that I have made already. Anyway, uh, now just an important note. Uh, this moodlet, if it expires, you will have to summon Mother Nature again by obtaining another uh, fairy seedling if it expires. So while this moodlet is active, you will have the opportunity to become a fairy by coming over here, which is very close to the bar, the little lounge for fairies here in the local town square. You will have to go to the Moondrop Springs, which is right over here. And while the Into the Fold moodlet is active, you will see and have the option to become a fairy. Select it. Come on. Go. And once it happens, your sim will become a fairy. They will do this short animation beforehand.
Oh,
It's Fably? Socks! Oh, Fably!
And just like that, she is a fairy, which is pretty cool. Very cool indeed. Um, Now, once your sim is a fairy, a few things will change for their appearance and their needs. Uh, Now, first and foremost, the plumb bob. They will have a fairy plumb bob, which no longer looks normal. Uh, it gives the impression of like plants, obviously because they are a fairy now. Uh, Fairies will also gain the enchanted beginnings moodlet upon becoming a fairy. Similar to werewolves, uh, they will gain that one energized moodlet called New Wolf in Town, but it lasts a lot shorter, so it's nowhere near as long. Um, but fairies, upon transformation, will no longer need to poop or pee, and they will no longer need to eat. And this is because, well, they no longer feed off of food, they feed off of emotions instead, represented by their emotional force right here. Now, this is very important, similar to vampires' vampire energy. If they run out of emotional force, they will die. They will die, and I personally do not like the death. The death. I mean, I like the animation, but I don't like the death itself because it's just I hate the freaking I hate the death. I despise it. I love the fact that they have a new death. I do. I hate it. I absolutely despise their death. I cannot recommend watching it in a lifetime if you unless you really are a psychopath and you just enjoy watching your sims suffer. I don't recommend this at all. Um, so important notes is the fact that fairies can mostly fly unless you disable it. So they can fly at a pretty rapid pace, which is pretty cool. Um, Now, I suppose one critique I have with them is the fact that it's very, and I mean very, very easy to avoid uh, death by emotional starvation, which is the death that happens when their emotional force runs out. It's very easy to avoid. Very, very easy to avoid. Like, I'm talking like you have like 4 in-game days to react to this, even if it gets to red. You have plenty of time. Like, in order for your fairy to actually die, you're going to not want to pay like hardly any attention. Like, you're going to have the attention span of like maybe like a 1 month old. Like, it's crazy how much you can avoid this death. It's not even a joke. It's so easily avoidable. Uh, Now there is a method of killing them by overloading for emotional force, but it can either happen from being too angry, too embarrassed, or too laughter, or being too hysterical. By absorbing the other emotions of Sims that are too strong uh, of a specific emotion. So, like if they're angry or if they're angry or tense, you'll get angry. You'll get enraged, and they will die from an enraged and cardiac explosion. Or if they are laughter, coming from either happy, confident, energized like that, they will become hysterical. If they are uh, sad, uh, scared, uncomfortable, I don't think uncomfortable counts because it just counts as discomfort. But if it does, let me know. That will get you embarrassed, and that will cause your sim to overload if your fairy does it too much. You will get warnings if you're overloading, so it's very easy to avoid as well. Just make sure you pay attention to those warnings. If you don't, then your fairy sim will kick the bucket. So that's the main methods of turning your sim into a fairy. Now, to have a younger fairy sim, uh, you can either have one start from cast, like have your kids start from have a fairy sim from cast from their parents, uh, or from natural gameplay. So, if two fairy parents, being the husband and the wife sim, if they are both fairies, the child is guaranteed to be a fairy. However, if a with one parent is a fairy and if one is a human, then the chance for the fairy or for the baby to be a fairy is 50%. But if any other occult type, like werewolves and fairies, then the child would be a 50% fairy chance or 50% werewolf chance. Uh, Pretty much for every occult type, which is pretty cool, and I like that. It gives some cool gameplay and like it gives like cool guessing ideas as well. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The one final way, and it's kind of the boring way to turn your sim into a fairy, is just by using cheats. You can just, I played it in my other video, you can just watch it with my other occult ranking video that I made recently. You can just put it, um, you can just watch it, and you can just fast forward to the point to where I get to the fairies in that video. And that's how you turn your sim into a fairy pretty much all the ways. Now, do note that you can revert being a fairy if you so wish and desire by summoning Mother Nature again by using another fairy seedling, and you can ask her to absorb your emotion. Now, your emotional force will be permanently empty during this phase, and to just become a human sim, what you want to do is just go to Moondrop Springs, and you can revert back to a human sim if you so desire to stop being a fairy. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope it wasn't too overwhelming for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.